We only spend 2 weeks per summer at the woodland seaside of McCurricker State Park, but watching years pass from the same slab of log in the center of the same circle of campsites somehow makes us feel like locals who know the land better than the tattoos my cousins and I bluff about getting someday. Some years there can be upwards of 70 of us, the Kelly clan, each one tied back to my great-grandfather who started this yearly camping reunion back when he was still alive, before even my mother was born. For these 2 weeks each year, my lungs are brimming with a marine fog, and my ears are dense with the sounds of ravens, of waves crashing down on a black sand shore, of barking dogs and cheering boys, of broken karaoke and domino tiles clacking. It doesn't matter that we sleep in tents and gotta pay for the showers, that the temperatures at night drop as low as winter, that raccoons and skunks will pillage our camp in our sleep, or that sunsets on the beach are often absorbed by an omnipresent, colorless fog. Say so long to any pictures you might have of a sunny Southern Californian white beach vacation. I live for the often dreary grasp of the NorCal coast. My cousins and I, we know what it is to explore here, to go off trail and walk over ice plant and horse manure, to roast marshmallows over the fire for fun as much as for staying warm, to let our dogs off leash and chase them down the never-ending coast, to pick blackberries and catch striped shore crabs from the tide pools with our bare hands, to go spear fishing in the rocky waters with wetsuits clasped around our bodies. We take night hikes here along the small boardwalk weaving through the cliffside grasslands with the occasional star peeking through to guide us to the dead end overlooking the ocean. The oldest cousins will sip at a bush light, and we all keep an eye and stern grip on Buzz, the youngest at 13, to keep him from doing anything too stupid. Through the years we've sprained ankles, been stung by bees, lost teeth, gained stitches, had hypothermia, fallen out of trees, and fallen into patches of stinging nettle. Ever since we were young, we would climb on that log in the middle of camp and yarn away the hours like we'd live forever. Even though the log isn't big enough for us all anymore, we still talk all the same. Sometimes I still need to bite my tongue. We're 17 now, and feeling rebellious as Jessie, Andy, and I climb into my aunt's blue truck to head to town for ice cream. Jessie drives, she's the only one with a license anyhow, and she sings along to the Mamma Mia soundtrack her brother Andy has synced to the truck's speakers. I don't know any of the words, but I smile and bob my head to the music before I turn my face out the window, watching the conifers zip past and lapping up the piney oceanic breeze like a dog. After spending far too long on parking the oversized truck at Cowlick's Creamery, we entertain the idea of trying new flavors, perhaps the strange mushroom ice cream that's somehow survived all this time. But of course we get the same order as every year. For me, it's always cookie dough. Best cookie dough ice cream you'll find anywhere, really. Waffle cones in hand, we strut down the familiar streets of tourist shops, from home decor to silly socks, dots of vanilla cream marking my nose like sunscreen. This year I walk with a slight limp, from falling out of the truck of all things, but it doesn't stop me from wandering through the stores with both the wonder of a child and the thrill of no parents in sight. The three of us look the epitome of Californian beach kids in our flip-flops, jean shorts, and hoodies, sunglasses hiding our eyes or tucked in our frizzy blonde hair. Sunsets are spent on the beach, even if there's no true wonder to be seen. The water here is far too cold for recreational swimming, and the rough, deep waves could sweep you up to take you home. We don't mind, filling our days with cornhole championships and climbing trees, with bananagrams and campfire songs. Here on our stretch of beach, we ignore the bleak skies as the boys rough each other up playing football, the coarse sand infiltrating their clothes as they tackle each other into the ground. Jessie talks with a new girl, some barely related by marriage cousin from Minnesota I never even knew existed, and they pass starbursts back and forth from their pockets. I half listen to their stories from my perch on a log, absently plucking strings off my guitar to play John Denver, and laughing when deemed appropriate. It's like a dream. It's like reaching for the seam sewn between the ocean and the sky, but you can never really grasp it in your hand, never hold that light close to your chest. The mists drift tauntingly through your fingers like sand in a glass of time. See, moments like this feel so fleeting, so shallow, and one could almost say altogether chimeric, flickering between joy and uncertainty like the flames of our campfire in the night's breeze. I suppose it's always been this way. Even the finest of moments I spend with my cousins, many of them feel nearly artificial. Like there's nothing but the thin thread of a capillary to connect us, and if we weren't related, we'd have nothing to do with each other. I've always been the odd one out. Nothing like them at all most of the time. Hell, my guitar and I are playing a song from the 1960s while my cousins ask if I can play 2010's pop. They play competitive varsity sports and video games. I play with words. They practice every strange trending dance off TikTok or whatever app is popular, while I barely glance up from my murder mystery novel and resist asking them to turn down the volume. They're fairly normal, picture-perfect high school teens, and I'm anything but. She spent hours getting all dolled up in a dress for prom, and I took maybe 40 minutes total to shower and brush my hair and throw on a blazer I got off a clearance rack. He's football MVP of the year, and I'm out of breath from climbing the stairs. She's been in student government since freshman year, and I'm on my third high school. They cry, and they get emotional. I'll shut myself away and pray no one finds me. They're still learning basic cooking habits, but I could cook a 3-course meal for 4 by the time I was 8. Well, to be fair, I couldn't tie my shoes or ride a bike till I was at least 12, both accomplishments they had all already achieved long before me. They talk about their dating lives. I'm more than happy to not have one. I make a joking remark about being too ace to understand, but of course they have no clue what I mean, and my lame attempt at coming out leads to awkwardly confused stares. I thought they would be the perfect first option for people to come out to, the safest in my family, at least, but my neurodivergent brain forgot something. Not everyone knows what I know, and my cousins, straight-laced Irish Catholic military-serving family we are, have no clue what asexual even means as an orientation, even less the shortened term ace. Jessie asks me to explain, but the courage to tell them the truth slips down my throat until I can't reach it anymore, and I'm left resorting to a fake smile and a casual, nothing, while I look towards the ocean and hope no one notices the change in my now shaky breathing. Now I watch them have their fun, with a strange sort of distance between us, even though I'm just next to them. It's odd to feel so disconnected from someone you still talk to every 5 minutes, but it sometimes feels like the rest of them have their own world, and I'm just an audience looking in. The jokes I make don't land like I planned. I can't relate to their high school drama, trends of the month, or music tastes, and my awkward attempt to come out as asexual just fell flatter than the apple pancakes our Nana makes for only these 2 weeks a year. It's almost desolate, the way my brain filters out their terrible recreations of rap verses in favor of the waves crashing and my own hums to the tune of Leaving on a Jet Plane. It feels as though I could be the only person on the beach, like one of those times where me and my dog, JJ, are hunkering down on the angled slab of rubble from the collapsed bridge, her head on my feet as she rests after chasing a frisbee, and the rope of her leash in my fist even though I know she won't run away. Their serenity reminds me of nights where it would be just Jessie and I, where we would talk about everything and nothing, showing each other the scars no one else could see. But JJ's back at our campsite, and Jessie's talking to someone else, and all I have is my slightly out-of-tune guitar and my black zip-up hoodie obscuring the sides of my face. The football narrowly misses my head, snapping me back to attention. I laugh it off and throw it back at them, but my pitch is so crappy the ball falls short. They laugh, and my smile becomes just a little bit more fake. Really, none of that matters. I'll be happy so long as I'm next to the churning ocean. My focus pitters back to those calming waves, my eyes settling on the horizon where I expect the sun would be about now, and I watch the water come up to trim the black sand in white foam. I hear Buzz cheer in success as he gets the football, only to be quickly decked by Andy the quarterback. The breeze picks off the ocean and carries a cold mist to my weathered cheeks, my eyes squinting. Jessie laughs at a joke and taps my shoulder to hand me a strawberry starburst. Of course she knows those are my favorite. I nod my thanks and look back to the vast, never-ending view we have been gifted. My breathing syncs with the tides, in and out. I am the daughter of that ever-changing line where the sea brushes up against the sand, and my soul rests below the waves, drifting somewhere out on the water.